All right, guys, these are my predictions for the MLB season. Opening day is tomorrow. I cannot wait for opening day. If you ask me, I can't wait. Um, this is going to go up at the time of opening day being tomorrow and being close. All right, let's start out with the NL West because that's my division. I'm going to go from last to first. In last place, I got the San Diego Padres. Yeah, yes, they had Machado. Manny Machado is hands down the most overrated star I've ever seen. Bryce Harper's overrated too, but Manny Machado's on another level of overrated. I don't think the Padres are that good. They're good offensively. Problem is, their pitching staff is horrible. Until they actually get some decent pitchers, they're going to be in last place. Let's face it. Manny Machado should not have went to San Diego. He should have went to Chicago. I have the San Diego Padres finishing at 69 and at 63 and 93. In fourth place, I have the Arizona Diamondbacks. Now, honestly, the Diamondbacks are starting a rebuild. Paul Goldschmidt traded. They still have that horrible Greinke contract that they should have moved. They can't bring in some other guys. They have nobody else on that team. Now, I like some of the players out there. I like the young talent. I like some of the players they got, but you just cannot replace Paul Goldschmidt. I have the Diamondbacks finishing at 66 and 96. In third place, I have my San Francisco Giants. This is their last chance, honestly. This is their last chance with this roster. If they miss the playoffs by a lot, they should just move everybody. But not yet. I think honestly, they're not yet ready for a rebuild. This is their last chance this year. People are like, well, you opted out trading Bumgarner, and you should have just traded him now. I'm like, no, Mad Bum only had bad injuries. He'll get better. He'll be better this year. Honestly, I think the Giants are going to be okay this year. I don't think they'll be that good this year, but I think they'll be okay. I think they'll finish at 70 and 92. In second place, people are going to be shocked. I have the Los Angeles Dodgers. Now, yes, they did win the division last year, but they won it because Colorado collapsed late in the year. If Colorado did not collapse late in the year, there's no way LA wins that division. LA should not have won the division last year. No bias, but honestly, I don't see LA winning the division this year. Sure, they are favorites to win, but the problem is they really are lacking pitching beside Buehler and Kershaw. And Kershaw's injured right now. This is going to be I think they're going to take a step back this year because the Dodgers, they lost Machado, they lost Dozier. Sure, Seager's coming back, but I'm expecting a year full of rust for Seager because this is his first year back from an injury. And honestly, I have the Dodgers finishing with a record of 89 and 73. And in first place, I have the Colorado Rockies. They're just a kind of a better team than the Dodgers are, honestly. The Dodgers are probably overrated this year. I am not buying the hype in the Dodgers. I don't think they're that good with the talent they lost. But I think the Rockies are going to win that division. I think they're going to win the division with a record of 91-71. This division is going to be horrible this year. Let's move on to the division I'm excited for this year, the NL Central. In last place, I have the Pittsburgh Pirates. They're still a good team, but the problem is this division is way too hard for them. And I really do not see the Pirates making that much of an improvement. I have the Pirates finishing 70 and 92. They'll be a better team, but they'll be in last place because the division is hard. The NL Central is easily the hardest division in the game. Fourth place, I have the Cincinnati Reds. I think they're going to improve this year. They added Puig, Kemp, and Wood. I like their new manager they got. I think he's pretty good as a manager. But the problem is the Reds are in a tough division. If they were in, say, the AL Central, I would have had them in first place. But then again, they're in the NL Central, which is the hardest division I've seen. So yeah, I got the Reds finishing at 81 and 81. In third place, I have the Chicago Cubs. The Cubs still have a lot of talent. I have the Cubs in the playoffs because the NL wildcard race is going to be tight, and I think the Cubs are going to end up getting the second wild card over the Dodgers just barely. But honestly, I do not see a good year from the Cubs this year. I think they're going to be decent this year, but not good or great. But I see a decent Cubs team this year. They got some hitting talent, but their pitching is digressing. Their window is closing. And then in second place, I have the Milwaukee Brewers. They're just going to add on to this season. They're going to be better this season than last season, honestly. But the problem is there is one team in their way. Hey, and I'll get to that team pretty soon. And I still think the Brewers are going to be a good team. I think they're going to get the first wild card by a landslide. I think the Brewers win a staggering 100 games and lose 62 this year. They brought back a lot, and they're adding Grandal. Problem is they don't have any pitching. And in first place, I have the St. Louis Cardinals, and I have the St. Louis Cardinals getting the number 1 seed in the NL. Here's why. They gradually improved their team this offseason. The addition of Paul Goldschmidt is going to help them a lot. They have decent starters in Michaelis Martinez when he's healthy. You have Adam Wainwright when he gets consistent. You have Alex Reyes, who I think is going to be a future star. And the bullpen is decent. You have Andrew Miller, Daniel Ponce de Leon. You have Martinez. He's going to be in the bullpen. I already know Carlos Martinez is going to be in the bullpen. Cardinals are going to be a really good team this year. I expect the Cardinals to be a really good team this year, and honestly, they are the front runner to win the division. Honestly, I have the Cardinals finishing a staggering 101 and 61. This is going to be a good year for the Cardinals. Now the NL East. In last place, to no one's surprise, I have the Miami Marlins. I have the Marlins finishing with the worst record in the NL. I have them finish. I have the Marlins finishing 52 and 110. The Marlins are going to be a terrible team this year. One of the worst teams in the league, in my opinion. And then moving on to fourth place, we have the New York Mets. They still have a good team, but injuries are really going to hurt the Mets. And that's what's going to happen with the Mets. They're going to get hit by the injury bug. If they don't get hit by the injury bug, they'll finish about third. But for now, I have them in fourth. I have the Mets finishing 70 and 92. They'll be decent this year, at most. In third place, I have the Washington Nationals. They still got a good team even without Bryce Harper. They added they added a lot to that rotation in Corbin and Sanchez with Max Scherzer and Steven Strasburg in there. They have Brian Dozier. They added in some other key guys there, and Yan Gomes too. The Nationals are going to be a decent team even without Bryce Harper. But I will seriously laugh if they win the World Series. I have the Nats winning. I have the Nats finishing 88 and 7. No, wait a minute. Actually, no. I have them finishing 83 and 79. In second place, I have the Philadelphia Phillies. The Phillies are going to be a good team this year, but problem is their pitching is not very good. They have no bullpen. David Robertson is the most overrated relief pitcher I've seen. Aaron Nola is all they got, and a washed-up Arrieta. The Phillies really do not have pitching, and that's what's going to kill them in the long run. I think the Phillies finish 81 and 81. And in first place, I have the Atlanta Braves. the Braves are really good this year. They won the division last year. I think the Braves are going to be really, really good this year. And the Braves are Aves. I won't be surprised if they make a good run this season. The Braves are going to be really good this year. I have the Aves finishing 99 and 63. The Braves are going to be really good this year. All right, moving on to the AL. We're starting with the AL Central because that is the easiest division to pick. In last place, I have the Chicago White Sox. I think they're the worst team in the league this year. You may have your number one prospect making the team, but what do you have beside that guy and Abreu? Davidson can only hit home runs. Their pitching is horrible. They don't have very any stars on that team. They're honestly the worst team in the league. I have the White Sox finishing at 53. No, I have them finishing 51 and 113. I think the White Sox are the worst team in the league, honestly. In fourth place, I have the Detroit Tigers. They're just rebuilding. They don't know what to do with this team. They are a rebuilding team. I have them finishing at 62 and 1. I have them finishing 54 and 108. And then in third place, I have the Kansas City Royals. They're just hit the restart button. They're one of the worst teams in the league, honestly. They have nobody good on that team beside Perez. Everyone's saying Perez is overrated. No, he's had injury-riddled years. I'm going to say I got the Kansas City Royals finishing 62 and 100. This division is horrible. In second place, I have the Minnesota Twins. They don't know what a rebuild really is, honestly. And I think the Indians are just going to be tanking. I think not the Indians. I think the Twins are going to end up finishing second because nobody else in that division is really good. I think the Twins finish 72, and I got the Twins finishing 72 and 90. And in first place, I have the Cleveland Indians. But here's the thing. They're not that good. They are going to take another step back. This division is pathetic. They're going to win the division by default. Let's face it. I have the Indians finishing 80 and 82. Yeah, that's right. I have the Indians winning the division with a losing record because the AL Central is hands down the worst division in all of baseball. The AL East, this division I'm looking forward to. In last place, I have the Baltimore Orioles. I think the Orioles are just miserable. I think the Orioles have a miserable season this year. I don't think the Orioles are a good team because they've been really bad of late. I have them finishing at a whopping 55. I have them finishing 55 and 107. I think them, the Tigers, the White Sox, and the Royals will fight for the worst team in the AL, and possibly the worst team in the league, honestly. In fourth place, I have the Toronto Blue Jays. They're in the step in the right direction because they've got some young talent on that team, and I really like the young talent the Jays have. Problem is, they're in one of the hardest divisions in the game. The AL East is very hard. And I think the Jays are going to finish at 79 and 83. I think they're taking a step in the right direction, but they're still rebuilding. In third place, I have the Tampa Bay Rays, my hometown team, as you guys know. I'm glad to finally be able to root proudly on them this year because they added Charlie Morton. They brought in Yandy Diaz. They did trade Bowers, but Bowers cannot hit left-handed pitching. They still have all those pieces from the 90-win team they had last year. Blake Snell's still there. Snell still, as people like to call him. He's on my fantasy team, by the way. I will end up making a video on my fantasy team tomorrow when I get home from school. And I'm taking the Tampa Bay Rays. I think they're gonna get the second wild card in the AL. I think the Rays are gonna be really good this year. I think the Rays finish at 92 and 70. I think they just improve on last year. here, and they're just going to be a really good team this year. In second place, I have the defending World Series champions, the Boston Red Sox. The Red Sox, sure, they lost Kimbrel. They bring back a lot. Betts is the reigning AL MVP. He's going to be back this year. JD Martinez is one of the best DHs in the game. The Red Sox are still a good team. They extended Chris Sale. They still have David Price, even though I think he's a little overrated. They did lose Joe Kelly, but Joe Kelly really isn't all that good. And I really think the Red Sox are going to have another really good season. Problem is, there is one team, and you guys know that team. And I think the Red Sox are going to finish at a staggering 100 wins and 62 losses. And in first place, to no one's surprise, it's the New York Yankees. And I have the New York Yankees with the best record in the league. And this is a team, and the Yankees are a team I hate. Are one of the two teams that I hate the most. I think the Yankees are going to win the East. This division is going to be very competitive. The Yankees are a really good team. They added Paxton. They're going to be scary this year. The Yankees are really good. Guys, just don't sleep on them. They're going to be highly talented this year. Everyone's saying they're overhyped. No. No one's overhyping the Yankees. They're clearly right about them. And I hate that team with a passion. The Yankees are one of my most hated teams in the league. I have the Yankees finishing a stagger. I have the Yankees finishing a staggering 108-54. The Yankees are going to be hard to beat this year. The Yankees and Cardinals are honestly the teams to beat, and the Astros too. The AL West, in last place, I have the Texas Rangers. They are rebuilding. The Rangers are clearly going to be rebuilding this year. I do not see the Rangers having that good of a year this year. But the Rangers are, honestly, they're going to get better, but they're not going to get better this year. They're going to get better in the future, but not now. I think the Rangers finish at 66-96. They hit the restart button. They should rebuild. They should just keep rebuilding until they get better. And in fourth place, I have the Seattle Mariners. They're rebuilding now. I really think the Seattle Mariners are rebuilding. I do not trust them now. I do not think the Mariners are that good. Until they can actually do something, I'm not picking them to make any noise. I think the Mariners are going to finish at 79-83. In third place, I have the Oakland Athletics, which is a surprise. I think they take a step back this year. The A's don't have pitching. They're lacking pitching, basically. Their hitting is good. You have Chris Davis. You have other guys as well, but the problem is you don't have any pitching besides Sean Manaea. And now, in second place, I have the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Now, yes, why do I have the Angels in second place? They extended the best player in baseball. I think they're going to be better this year, honestly. But the problem is their road to try and get to the playoffs is going to be hard. I think they'll be a decent team this year, but not like great or good. They'll be decent this year. I have the Angels finishing at 82-80. I think they'll be better this year. Injuries hit them hard last year. And when healthy, the Angels are one of the toughest teams in the league, honestly. In first place, to no one's surprise, I have the Houston Astros. Now, the Astros are the second best team in the AL. Maybe the third if you include the Red Sox in there. But the Astros are just way better than most teams in the AL. But I do not see them winning it all this year. I have the Astros finishing 102-60. The Astros are going to be really good this year. Here. And the playoffs. Here are my playoff picks. The AL wild card. I have the Brewers over the Cubs in a close one. Divisional games tend to be close, but I'm taking the Cubs. I'm taking the Brewers to win in the end because I have them having home field advantage and they'll play the St. Louis Cardinals in my picks. Now, the AL wild card between the Rays and Red Sox. Honestly, I'm going to take an upset here. I'm going to take the Rays to upset the Red Sox. The Rays are going to be good this year. And the Red Sox, I've seen them taking a step back, and I don't think they're going to make it that far in the playoffs with that embarrassing bullpen. I still think the Rays need to work on their bullpen a little, but the Red Sox do not have a bullpen right now. Kimball's gone, Kelly's gone, even though Kelly wasn't really that good, but all right. Um, yeah, and they'll play the New York Yankees. Best team in baseball, honestly. The NL playoffs, I think the Braves are going to sweep the Rockies. The Rockies are really bad in the playoffs. Like, they haven't won a playoff series past the wild card since '07 when they went to the World Series and lost to the Red Sox. Now, I think the Braves are going to sweep the Rockies, but the Rockies will put up a fight. The Braves are really good this year. And the Cardinals and Brewers, I think the Cardinals are going to win in 5. It's going to be a very close series. These are the 2 best teams in the NL, in my opinion, the Cardinals and Brewers. The Braves are the 3rd, honestly, but I think the Cardinals are going to end up winning this in the end. I mean, the Cardinals win the series in 5 games. Moving on, the Yankees, I think, are going to beat the Tampa Bay Rays in 5 games, honestly. The Rays will put up a good fight with the Yankees. Problem is the Yankees are just too loaded this year, and I can't see anyone stopping the Yankees in the playoffs, except for maybe the Astros, Cardinals, Rays, Red Sox, Braves, or maybe the Brewers, too. Either one of those 6 teams I listed, I think, can beat the Yankees in the playoffs. In the other division series, I have the Astros sweeping the Indians. The Indians are really, honestly, not that good. They're going to take another step back. They're just lucky they're in the AL Central and not the AL East or NL Central, because the AL Central is the worst division in baseball. It's pretty clear. I think the Astros are going to sweep the Indians and play the Yankees in the ALCS. Back to the NLCS. I have the Cardinals over the Braves in 6 games. The Braves, they'll consider this season, if they finish the way I picked them, as a good season for the Braves, simply because the Braves are going to be very good simply because the Braves are going to have a very good team this year, and I won't be surprised if the Braves go very far in the playoffs. But I think the Cardinals are going to win this. I think their pitching is going to propel them, and their hitting as well with I'll get to the MVP, Cy Young, and Silver Slugger after this. I have the Cardinals moving on to the World Series to play the winner of the Yankees and Astros ALCS. I think the Yankees are going to win. The Astros, sure, they got the pitching, but the Yankees are just too much, honestly. And I think the Yankees are going to have taken the Astros down. I have them winning in 6 games or 7 games over the Astros. Both series I picked will at least be a good series. And we have the 2 most successful teams of all time in baseball, and for me, the 2 best teams in baseball, the St. Louis Cardinals and the New York Yankees. Now, I'm going to take the St. Louis Cardinals to win it all, honestly. I think they're ready for the World Series this year. Adding Goldschmidt, Miller, and all those other guys, and improving their team, and returning Carpenter, Ozuna. Fowler's not going to start. It's going to be O'Neill. But I think the Cardinals are going to end up having a great season this year. And I think that's going to lead them to the World Series in 7 games, hard fought over the New York Yankees. This will be a good series, honestly. And now for the awards. The AL MVP, it's going to be Mike Trout, who, beside Mookie, who can stop Trout. Maybe JD Martinez, but then again, we have to see what else JD Martinez can do this year. Here, for the Red Sox. The Cy Young, I think it's going to go to Chris Sale or Blake Snellzilla. Blake Snell is one of the most underrated pitchers in the game. Chris Sale is probably the best pitcher in baseball beside Max Scherzer. But honestly, I think the Cy Young will go to Sale, and the Silver Slugger, I think, will go to Mike Trout out this year, or JD Martinez. Moving on to the NL. The MVP, I think, is going to go to Paul Goldschmidt or Nolan Arenado. I think Paul Goldschmidt's going to end up with it in the end because Paul Goldschmidt, I think, is going to lead his team to more wins. And I think Paul Goldschmidt's going to end up helping his team go far in the playoffs. The Cy Young is going to go to Max Scherzer. Kershaw is going to miss time due to an injury. We don't know if Mad Bum can stay healthy, and I'm a Mad Bum fan myself. We don't know if Bueller can take a step in the right direction. The Rookie of the Year in the AL, I think is going to be the Rookie of the Year in the AL. I think is going to end up being Vlad Guerrero Jr. The NL Rookie of the Year, I think it's going to be Fernando Tatis Jr. But honestly, I really think that and big news today, the A's got Morales, but Morales is only good for home runs. Other than that, he strikes out. And that's going to do it for my picks this season. Hope you enjoy. See you next time. Bye.